So, it was announced earlier today that there will be a Nintendo Direct happening tomorrow on February 17th. And I thought, it'd be a bit of fun just to try and predict what content we'll be getting tomorrow, because we haven't had really any news from Nintendo in so long. Just sort of thought, why not have a guess? What's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to make myself look like an idiot. I'll do that anyway on the daily. So yeah, this is basically just going to be me trying to predict what sort of games, DLC, anything like that we'll be getting in tomorrow's Nintendo Direct. So to me there's like 3 different types of announcements you can get in Directs. You've got DLC, or like new content for games, stuff like that, patches, whatever. Ports and remasters, old games coming to new consoles, like we have with Link's Awakening getting remastered and Mario 3D World getting ported, for example. And then there's also like new announcements, which is obviously the big point of any Direct, as well as updates on new releases we have already had confirmed, but obviously aren't quite ready to come out yet. So I'll try and break my guesses down into those 3 categories to try and make some sort of structure and sense of this. So we'll be starting with DLC. So let's start with DLC. It's already been confirmed we'll be getting Smash Bros information tomorrow, and like 99.9% chance of that being a fighter. So we're just going to run with it, assume it is a new fighter we're getting tomorrow. Maybe we'll get a new game mode or another Fighters Pass announced with it, I don't know. But let's for now just assume it's a new character. I think there's quite a few possibilities that could become DLC. So I've got a list of them here and we'll just run through them. And then we'll try and narrow it down to which one I'd have to go with if I had to put money on it. So the list I've got 2 lists. I've got the fairly likely ones and more like outlandish ones. So in terms of likely characters, we've got Rex, Doomguy, Dr. Eggman, Lloyd Irving, Crash Bandicoot, a genetic Pokemon like Urshifu maybe, a Zelda rep like Impa, maybe someone else from Zelda like Midna, I don't know, Chun-Li, or Ryu from Ninja Gaiden. I think those are the most likely characters to be in this DLC. But there's also like the more outlandish characters which sort of shouldn't really be in Smash, but you can't really rule them out. And those are characters like Master Chief, Fortnite Jonesy, Freddy Fazbear, Tracer, maybe even Among Us Imposter, maybe at a push, but I don't think we'll be getting any of those tomorrow. Those are more likely to be me costumes, if anything, with new characters, so we'll put them to the side. So in terms of the likely characters I think we have a chance of getting, I think you're really going to be looking at Rex or Crash Bandicoot for tomorrow's DLC. Eggman, maybe, since it's Sonic's 30th anniversary, not 30th. Yeah, no, Sonic's 30th anniversary, isn't it? Yeah. So I think we'll get Eggman at some point, just not tomorrow. Now Rex I say because, well, Sakurai's made it very clear he wants Rex in Smash. And I think he's the only real first party from the Switch that we need in Smash. Especially with Byleth and Min Min getting in, it just makes too much sense to not put Rex in the game. And then the reason I went with Crash is, well, Crash is like the last mascot we don't have in Smash. We got Mario, Sonic, Pac-Man and Mega Man. Surely Crash is next on the list. And I just thought, with Crash 4 announcement for Switch coming out over the last few days, and everything's lining up for it to be Crash, but I said Crash would be in from the start of the second Fighters Pass, and I just think now was the right time to do it. Especially because it would be a really good way to continue the hype from Sephiroth and really set up the last 2 DLCs to be something very special. So yeah, in summary, I think we'll get possibly Rex, more likely to be Crash, for the Smash Ultimate news tomorrow. Now another likely thing to see tomorrow is a big focus on the Zelda franchise. With it being the series' 35th anniversary, we are 100% getting some Zelda content this year. Whether it's ports, remasters, new games, who knows. But there will definitely be a big year for Zelda. Now, I've sort of gone with the more likely ones, I think, to feature in tomorrow's Direct. Although it wouldn't surprise me if they just announced a Zelda specific Direct for the next few weeks tomorrow. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But I've gone with ports for Wind Waker, Skyward Sword, and Twilight Princess. Being the games from the Wii and the Wii U, I think it's logical to port them ones. No, they like to port Wii U games especially, because that console didn't do too well. So I imagine Wind Waker is pretty guaranteed. And obviously I think there's new trademarks for Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess as well floating around. So yeah, adds up to me. And then I think we might get an update on Breath of the Wild 2. Just a short 30-second trailer saying like the game's this far along, estimated release like this time period maybe. But again, it wouldn't surprise me if they save that for later on in the year, maybe at the free directive, assuming there is one this year. And then I think you think of Zelda, the games that come to mind are the N64 ones, you know, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. So I really think they might remaster them again. I know they got remasters for 3DS, but I'm talking a full-on remaster, like HD graphics, like sort of like how Xenoblade was remastered, looking similar to that. I think. Yeah, I think in terms of Zelda, I think that's what they get. But again, the Zelda Direct announcement wouldn't surprise me either. So just keep an eye out for that happening as well. Now another likely thing to see tomorrow is a big focus on the Zelda franchise. With it being the series' 35th anniversary, you know, we are 100% getting some Zelda content this year. Whether it's ports, remasters, new games, who knows. But there will definitely be a big year for Zelda. Now, I've sort of gone with the more likely ones, I think, to feature in tomorrow's Direct. Although it wouldn't surprise me if they just announced a Zelda specific Direct for the next few weeks tomorrow. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But I've gone with ports for Wind Waker, Skyward Sword, and Twilight Princess. Being the games from the Wii and the Wii U, I think it's logical to port them ones. No, they like to port Wii U games especially, because that console didn't do too well. So I imagine Wind Waker is pretty guaranteed. And obviously I think there's new trademarks for Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess as well floating around. So yeah, adds up to me. And then I think we might get an update on Breath of the Wild 2. Just a short 30-second trailer saying like the game's this far along, estimated release like this time period maybe. But again, it wouldn't surprise me if they save that for later on in the year, maybe at the free directive, assuming there is one this year. And then I think you think of Zelda, the games that come to mind are the N64 ones, you know, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. So I really think they might remaster them again. I know they got remasters for 3DS, but I'm talking a full-on remaster, like HD graphics, like sort of like how Xenoblade was remastered, looking similar to that. I think. Yeah, I think in terms of Zelda, I think that's what they get. But again, the Zelda Direct announcement wouldn't surprise me either. So just keep an eye out for that happening as well. And so on the topic of ports, I can't really see anything else being ported tomorrow. The only game I think Nintendo are going to want to port from their own consoles is Xenoblade Chronicles X from the Wii U. But I just don't think tomorrow will be the day. Unless maybe they put Rex and Smash tomorrow and do it together, who knows. But surely it would make more sense about Elmer and Smash if they did that. I don't think Elmer's going to get over Rex. So, I mean, it could happen, but we don't know. I don't think so. So yeah, possible Xenoblade X port, but I don't think we'll get it tomorrow. And then there is a very slight chance of a Persona 5 port. You know, since we have Persona 5 Strikers coming up next week, which I think will also be shown off during the Direct. But, you know, it's Atlas, I wouldn't hold your breath for a Persona 5 port on the Switch. And to be honest, I don't even know if Persona 5 would run on the Switch, so yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath for that one. Now we're coming up to the fun part of the predictions, the new releases. I feel like we'll see at least 2 Nintendo games coming out new for the Switch. So I'm going to go through the different options I think we have and sort of rank their chances, so to say. So Pokemon turns 25 this year, and I think we're going to get Sinnoh remakes and Let's Go Johto. I don't think we'll get Sinnoh remakes mentioned now, but Let's Go sequels, possibly. Not likely, but possible. I think I'll save that for a Pokemon Direct again at some point, maybe during the summer, but, you know, who knows what they're doing with Game Freak, they're a weird company. So and then I looked at sort of somewhat relevant, well not somewhat, but still relevant franchises which haven't had a new game for a while. So I'm sort of thinking you got games like Kirby, Donkey Kong, ARMS, Splatoon and Mario Kart. I do think all of those games will be getting new installments in the series at some point soon, but out of the ones I've listed, I feel like the most likely now are ARMS 2, the 3D Kirby game that's been rumoured, and Mario Kart 9. I just think we're due a new Mario Kart. We didn't get a holiday release last year at Christmas. I really thought it was going to be Mario Kart. I think it makes sense to chuck that out now. ARMS 2, a quick and easy game to get out. It will sell decently well. You know, maybe you could add story mode or something in it. Add some new content for the old fans, bring new fans in. Perfect. And then 3D Kirby, well, it's Kirby. It's going to be a success, isn't it? Because everyone loves Kirby. And I think a 3D Kirby would actually be really, really cool. And there has been rumours floating around for a while that we're going to get one soon. So I think now's a pretty good time to just pull the trigger and get it out. Maybe make that one of like summer games they're going to bring out. I think that would be a good decision on their part. And in terms of more dormant franchises which may get revived, I think the one that really springs to mind is Mario Strikers, since Nintendo just bought the studio that made them games. So I think a Mario Strikers game on the Switch is more of when it's going to happen, not if it's going to happen. F-Zero, again, I very much doubt it, but out of most of Nintendo's dormant franchises, I think it's the most likely. But again, I don't think they'll do that in Mario Kart 9 at the same time, so that'll be one or the other. And the same with Punch-Out. Again, I can see them reviving Punch-Out, I just don't think it'll come out at the same time as ARMS 2. So again, it's one or the other for those two. And then games like Star Fox, the Mother series, I just can't see anything at this point coming out for them. I mean, it's sad, yeah, but I just don't. I think Nintendo have other priorities, which is a shame because they're actually really fun games. But yeah, doesn't look good for those franchises, unfortunately. And then in terms of already announced games, you got Metroid 4, Bayonetta 3, and Breath of the Wild 2, which I mentioned earlier. I don't think we'll get any updates on those yet. Metroid 4 has been delayed again, I think, till next year, and Bayonetta 3 has just gone silent, so yeah, I just can't see any of those happening tomorrow. And in terms of like maybe getting a Mario Odyssey sequel, again, I think that's got to be an E3 announcement, so I don't think we'll get that tomorrow either. So, to conclude, I think what we'll get tomorrow, or at least the main core of the Direct, will be a Smash character. I'm going to go with Crash Bandicoot as my bet, but again, many people it could be. Zelda 35th anniversary content, whether it be games, ports, all that stuff, or just an announcement for a Direct, I definitely think Zelda will pop up as a big focus tomorrow. We'll probably see some Persona 5 Strikers content as well, just promote that game, possibly even Crash 4 in that as well. I think in terms of new games, I think Let's Go Johto, definite possibility. ARMS 2, more niche, but again, could happen. 3D Kirby game will happen at some point soon. And Mario Kart 9, just for the fact we're due a new Mario Kart game. And I think now would be a good time with like not having a holiday release, people need a big title from Nintendo, and I think Mario Kart 9 will be just that, and just what they're looking for. And again, there's obviously going to be like indie games and third party stuff, but there's just so many different things to talk about in that you can't really narrow it down enough to put it in a list. So we're just going to chuck that in there as a lump as third party indie games and just lump it in there with the rest of it. So that's pretty much all I think we're going to get tomorrow. Let's just hope this Direct doesn't disappoint, because it's been so long since we last had a main Direct. They really, really need to come back and give us a good showing tomorrow. And I think they will. I think they've definitely got some stuff lined up. Especially with things becoming more like doable, like this time's gone on since last year, because last year must have been insanely difficult developing games and stuff. But I think they're starting to get back to the somewhat norm of it. So I think we'll get more stuff coming out as the year goes along, which is great. And I will actually be recording my reactions to this Direct tomorrow, so be sure to look out for that, because me and excitement is a very dangerous combination. You know, there may be tears, there may be swearing, there may be me jumping out my chair and falling over. Who knows? Hopefully, it's happy tears if there is tears. You know, so I don't want to be disappointed to cry because it's a bad Direct. But again, I don't think it will be. So, I will see you all tomorrow for the Direct reveal and my reaction to it. Fingers crossed, it's a really good Direct. Fingers crossed.